Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMtrading. Today's December 7th, 2020. And today is Monday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the U.S. indices rallied to new all-time highs once again, both the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones. But first, looking at the various markets, no major economic events scheduled for today. But looking at the currencies, we're watching the major pairs taper off versus the US dollars, while the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones rallied to all-time new record highs last Friday. Looking at commodities, gold and oil pretty much steady. And stocks, it's pretty much flat, except for Alcoa, which keeps on going higher. Again, we're going to take a look at that in just a second. FANG stocks are making that rotation. And are they just sleepy or are they just looking weak at this point? Okay, even though the indices are going higher, that is a red flag. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin remains steady above 19,000. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trade. So we're starting out with the Euro USD, which we love to do every single day almost. Looking at it, it rallied to 121.53, but it does look like it's capitulating in this area-ish, okay? The reason I say area-ish is because there's not much resistance at this area, okay, to take us further higher. Okay, the real next resistance-ish level is 22,700-ish level, so just keep that in mind if we do rally to that. Now, looking at the Gbp Usd, faltered at that 135, okay, did hit it, but it faltered. So right now we're at that resistance-ish level, 134.12-ish level. So that could be a possible retracement there as well. Looking at the Aussie dollar as well, just above its resistance-ish level, but not really breaking higher. Okay, for this to really break out higher, I would love to see it about the 75-ish level for us to look for a bona fide breakout. Now looking at gold and oil, pretty much steady here, trading at 1839. Not much of a change since last week. You could see that on a 1-hour chart. And we're just really churning around this area. Now looking at oil as well, we did hit it to $46 a barrel last week as the vaccines are rolling out. Okay, with the anticipation by the first or second quarter of 2021, we will have the economies opening up more and restrictions relaxing. So we are trading at 45.96 right now. Okay, so just shy of $46. But I do expect a little bit of a retracement. We are hitting a resistance-ish area. Now jumping into commodities for the NASDAQ. Okay, the NASDAQ really rallied with strength last week to 12,520. What I want to highlight is that it's not the FANG stocks that are pushing us higher, okay, which if you remember back in August, we had a big rally in the markets going into the end of August, okay? The markets hit, let's look at a daily chart. The markets hit a high of 12,500-ish level, and we broke above it. But this time, we're breaking above it with the rest of the market. We're breaking above it with the carrying of companies like Cisco and Intel, which are more bricks and mortar type of companies, not expansion companies like Facebook, like Microsoft, like Apple. Okay, so this is really an important rotation that the market is going, and it's really relying on the old school kind of stocks to push us higher. Now, the Dow Jones also hit a high of 30,246 and then giving up those gains as we sold off in after hours and into that day. Okay, but if we look at some of the stocks there, they haven't gone higher. Okay, except companies like Alcoa. So we see the shift happening once again and the rotation happen once again. Now, I'm a little bit concerned because this is not the stocks that took us higher. These are not the expansion stocks that I expect. But nevertheless, we could see a rotation in that market. So looking at Apple, for example, it didn't break higher. Okay, yes, it's on close to its relative highs. Okay, it's only $10 off of its all-time highs, but didn't hit higher where we did back in August. Okay, where we hit $132 a share. Now looking at Facebook also, it was actually down on the day, 277, not breaking out higher. We looked at Microsoft, also not breaking out higher. So this is a little bit disconcerting because I don't see the rest of the market going. However, when I look at Cisco, look at that, 44.24, and dead on its highs as it broke out higher and looking to close in that gap after we had that surprise in August. Now remember, this is August where we hit the all-time highs in the NASDAQ, okay? So you see that the Cisco's and the Intels are pushing us higher. Now jumping into Intel as well, taking us to $52 a share, okay, and then retracing just a bit. But it is closing in on our all-time highs, and it is pushing the markets higher, whereas the FANG stocks are not. Now jumping into the big tech stocks like Alcoa, trading at 23.63, does not give it up. Look at that. Okay, this thing is in orbit. Okay, really just rallying and no end in sight. Now we have a bit of a resistance here at 23.63, but if we break that, then we could go up to the $29 range. That's doubling your money. That's almost tripling your money since the beginning of August, okay? So amazing, amazing rally for Alcoa as it's rallied right back. Now jumping into JP Morgan, also on its highs, closed its highs at 123, but not breaking out higher. So we see this shift in the markets once again, okay, as we go into the latter part of the month of December into the end of the year. We've made that rally back from our correction back in February to this year, okay, since the beginning of the pandemic. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin as it's making its rally, it is trading at 19,297, the upper range. It is teasing us, okay, so definitely if it breaks above the 19,800 range, we could see it go into orbit and back to the 20,000 range. So keep that in mind as we go into this week. And remember, okay, the Bitcoin is traded as a currency, okay? So with that said, as the holidays are coming in and people are expanding their money, they're going to look to Bitcoin to make purchases as well. So that's something that may push Bitcoin to its highs like it did 3 years ago in 2017. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.